athlete than people think.
He's looked unbelievably good. Whether he starts immediately or it takes a little time, so far, so good. One more quarterback to talk about. Last week was all about rookie Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. This week it's about rookie Dillon Gabriel in Cleveland. Tannenbaum, what grade did he get?
Greeny, B. And in fairness, his good throws really merit an A. The only reason it's a B, he had a pick six, he had another fumble. Those turnovers count. But I was extremely impressed by his accuracy and getting rid of the ball. Really good anticipation. Again, I'm just concerned about his size.
Yeah.
Typically, that doesn't translate well to the next level.
I thought he was sensational. I thought the tape was just as good, if not better, than Shedeur last week. He looked a lot like Tua. And the things that you want to see from the young player, are you seeing it correctly? Are you playing fast? Are you efficient with your decision-making and your movement? All of that was there. And so we can sit here and harp on an interception that's not his or a fumble, but when you watch this is really well done when it comes to how's the drop marrying the concept. He's going to try to get the out route up top, 1, 2, 3. Guys playing outside leverage defensively, don't like it. Get backside, but also move in the pocket. This is a tight space right here. That is really efficient when it comes to the movement and finding the number 2 or 3 read. That looked like Tua. This is an in route from the bottom of the screen. Watch him with his eyes and marrying his concept of his feet. Pull those defenders down. He's going to let this ball go from behind that defender. That guy's covered. That's anticipation. That's seeing that window open at the NFL level. This is my favorite throw of the weekend for him. He wants thrash on this deep middle sit. He's got to see coverage rotation. He's got to manipulate the underneath defender, and he has to move the pocket while also throwing a ball away from a very tight covering defender. Watch what he does to his backer. He's going to peek to the bottom. You see where he is starting-wise, see where that backer ends up. That opens up the window, and there's that completion. That's big-time stuff. I don't care if you're 6 foot or 6'6". I know a lot of 6'6" guys who couldn't do that well enough. So his tape was awesome, and I think this is a very interesting situation in Cleveland.
And then the coach, Kevin Stefanski, says I want to have this decision made sooner rather than later. So what and when should we be expecting to know about the quarterback situation in Cleveland?
Well, he's not scheduled to speak to the media at all today, which doesn't mean that the team couldn't announce its decision. But I would think in the next couple of days that the Browns will come out and announce their starting quarterback. And I think everybody has expected all along that it would be the veteran Joe Flacco who draws the start. They want to announce the starting quarterback this week because they want this week to mimic what it would be like during the first week of the regular season. And so they want to get that starting quarterback decision made and in place. And while we're on it, in addition to the starting quarterback, I believe they're going to wind up keeping 4 quarterbacks on their roster. They always were going to keep Joe Flacco. They always were going to keep both rookies, who, by the way, I think could draw some interest around the league. And then Kenny Pickett would be the 4th guy. And there are just enough teams that still need quarterback help. And so quarterbacks are currency, and I think the Browns, in the end, are going to keep 4 on their 53-man
To be clear, what
roster.
you mean is they're going to keep him because with the idea that they will ultimately trade him and get something in response from a team that has an
Maybe
injury.
they'll be open to that. Doesn't mean they will trade him, but
Right.
they're holding on to a commodity, an asset. That's what quarterbacks are.
I've been in the camp that I think that one of the 2 rookies should start. I think if you're telling us more than likely or anticipating to be Flacco, it'll be interesting to see who QB2 is then.
By the way, what if you keep 4 quarterbacks and you get an offer for one of the rookie quarterbacks?
Right.
Like, you don't know how it's going to go, but 4 quarterbacks gives them optionality and gives them value.
Greeny, with 2 first-round picks next year, I agree with Dan. Play the rookies. You got to see what you have with them because that's going to help dictate what you do next year.
One would assume, unless they start winning a lot of games, which I don't think is most people's expectation, you never know in the NFL, but I think there'll be ample time to see at least one of the rookies for them this season, if not both, and then they'll be able to make an evaluation based on that. But the expectation, as Shedeu says, is in the next day or 2, they will name Joe Flacco their starter for tonight. We all wanted to see Caleb Williams in this new Ben Johnson offense. You were nervous as could be in Chicago. What is it going to look like? Dan, the news.
When he's supposed to be looking there, the ball again perfect to the tight end.
Now here's a play. Why do you like this one?
Because it's 2nd and 5. They call play action. The protection breaks down. Instead of him trying to run around and be a hero and do everything himself, he kind of leads 2 yards after the catch. The window's big, and it's going to constrict at some point. but throwing it when it's big allows for that after the catch by Olamide Zaccheaus.
97 passing yards on the opening drive for Caleb Williams. Here's another nice play to DJ Moore. In all, he would finish 6 of 10, 107 yards and a touchdown. Bears win 38-0.
To a month ago, I think I've grown a lot. Now, my mindset is, keep growing. I should be able to handle. Being able to do that consistently over the next couple years is, important for me.
I thought really the 3 days of practice we had this week and this game were the most he's stacked up good days in a row right now. And so the challenge is going to be to keep pushing in that direction.
Okay, so there are 3 elements, the way I see it, to evaluating how a quarterback played. The first is you look at the numbers. Those are easy for even people like me who didn't play the game to decipher. Next, you look at the highlights. Those are easy for people like me to look at. Then you look at the tape, and that's what I need you for. Did the tape look as good as the numbers in the highlights felt?
Absolutely. Every completion that he had from the pocket was out on no hitch or one hitch, except one. And that was the big thing. When I talk about hitch, imagine for everybody at home, the quarterback getting to the top of their drop and moving up in the pocket. And every time that the quarterback does that, that's kind of known as a hitch. And the hitch tells you when and where to throw the football. And so if you go to the ball down the middle of the field, 1, 2, 3, hitch, that ball is out in 2.11 seconds. That's outstanding. You're going to get a hitch to the top of the screen. The route is just 5 yards down the field. There's no hitch there. That's 2 seconds. This is playing fast. If you just watch Caleb Williams' feet last year to last night, he looks like a different player. This is 1 hitch, 2 hitch, 2.2 seconds. The 1 hitch is to the short, the 2nd hitch is to the long. That's playing with rhythm, back foot hits, and the ball's out. Another opportunity with an out route to the field versus man coverage. 1, 2, 3. There is no hitch there. 2 seconds. So that's the big thing is if you watched Caleb at USC and last year, the thing that we would hitch, hitch, hitch. And I was around Kyle Shanahan and Gary Kubiak, and they would always tell you, first hitch is to the first guy, 2nd hitch to the 2nd guy, 3rd hitch, you either run or get to the check down. And so Caleb has not done that. Last night he did. That's great growth.
And Grady, to that point, last year they had 68 sacks. A lot of those, to Dan's point, he was running backwards. He ran himself into a lot of sacks. So when you want to evaluate a quarterback, you start with their feet. His feet were confident, and they were on time. And when you have those 2 tight ends, Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet, and you can control the middle of the field, those are much easier throws. And look, to Dan's point, especially if your hands like he did last night, that's how he's going to get confidence. And this was markedly improved.
Could and couldn't process what he couldn't learn so that he could dial it back for the start of the regular season. But he looked on time. He looked in rhythm. He looked like he was working quick. He looked like he could get Ben Johnson's offense last night.
So the process has to be, okay, me as a coach, I'm going to get the first read open. The coverage is going to tell you who the first read is. I'm going to get him open. Your job, get it out on